when we want to successfully build this clientele in our community, we have to set up who is it, where is it, how am I going to reach them? So let me know how I can help you. There's some links in the show notes. Check out those links, go to those links, and let's have that chat. Join the Academy, get those one-to-ones with me on a regular basis so that we can catch up properly and we can have those conversations and I can help you as you move forward and support you so that you don't feel alone. Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, coaches, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to the needs of you, the practicing natural therapist. We have interviews during the holiday season and business and mindset support each week so you'll get the variety you need to enjoy and stay motivated in your practice. Don't forget to subscribe to receive the weekly episodes. And if you want to connect with me, always check the show notes because that's where you'll find the links to book appointments and, of course, to join the Academy, the membership group where there's constant connection and community with like-minded practitioners. Now, let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite Size Podcast. How the devil are you? When you join or when someone joins the Confident Practitioner Community, the link will, of course, be in the show notes. There is the opportunity in the questions to ask a question. And I thought it might be really nice as we're heading into the end of the year, aren't we, to answer some of those questions and to help you out. You ask questions and generally you ask a question and someone is going to give you half an answer. Now, if you book a focus call with me, you will get a lot of information in that 15 minutes. And if I haven't got anybody after you, then we will carry on for more than 15 minutes. You will need to have a pen and piece of paper with you because there will be a lot to write down and a lot of things to get sorted. We all change things as we get towards the end of the year. We all think about new things for the new year. And one of the things I've decided is within my academy, there is so much recorded content in there. There is just so much. There's clinical content and there's practice content. There's all sorts of things in there and there's access to me. And so I'm going to change the academy up. It's going to change. It's going to be more contact with me. So basically you're paying your monthly amount. So it's kind of saving it up. So you get one-to-ones with me and you have all that background. So it's about to be way more, or there already is actually, way more opportunity to have one-to-ones with me, as well as our virtual retreat, which is also coming up at the end of the year. Now, the reason I tell you these is because we're thinking about forward, what's happening forward, what's going to happen next. And a number of the questions that I have come through on the Confident Practitioner Community are about the future, are about how do I do something? How do I achieve something? And so when we're looking forward and we're figuring things out, we need to talk to somebody else. It's as simple as that. All of my best ideas, I have amazing ideas and I start to work on those ideas. But if I haven't got a sounding board, it needs to be someone in the business. It can't be a relative because they don't understand what you're doing unless they run a small business. Okay. So that means finding a mentor, finding someone or speaking to me, obviously preferably me. Yeah, no, let's be honest. But we need somebody else to bounce these ideas off. And we have to think to the future. We're getting to the end of the year. What are we going to do for next year? What are we going to do for the end of this year? So in November, I do Black Friday and I always put out some of my courses. And this year it will be the Pediatric Online Mastery Course that will come out. And it will come out at a really good discount. So do keep an eye out for that. And if you're not on my mailing list, get on it so that you can get that course. And you get a one-to-one with me in that as well. So see, I love meeting people. I love being with you guys. And what I found with my membership is there's a lot of reliant on group and on recorded content. And it's really nice to meet people. It's really nice to spend time one-to-one or one in a small group. So that's what's about to be the small group that I'm struggling with, how to figure out these small groups. And everybody knows this is my time to be in this group. So I have to work on that one. That's figuring that out. At the moment, there's all the one-to-ones and then we've had the additional stuff on top. So how do we do this? How do we create? How do we build? And this was one of the questions that it says, what can I help you with now? She says, I think just general business advice on how to successfully build your clientele base in your community. Now, my community is online. My community is the people that I help. Who are those people? So when we're thinking about our clientele, we have to know who our niche is. We have to know who those people are. Who are we directing to? So I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about the end of the year. I'm thinking about the new year. Who am I directing these offerings to? I'm directing them to natural therapists. I work mostly with naturopaths and nutritionists, but I have hypnotherapists, quite a lot of homeopaths actually, hypnotherapists, homeopaths, and other natural therapists on my books as well. I've got a massage therapist on my books. I've got a beautician on my books. There's a large variety of people within the therapies realm that I work with. So that is my niche. These are the people. So she wants to successfully build her clientele base in her community. But who is her niche within her community? And who does she consider to be her community? So who is your community? Do you live in a small town? If you live in a small town, then being a generalist or tends to be the way to go with some specifications. So that is, I work with children because then you've got all the school kids, because you've got perhaps a primary school and a secondary school, and you've got people coming in from further away to get the kids to school every day, or the kids catching the bus every day. So that is your community. Women of all ages means that you have 50% of your population, especially out in a small community. If you're in this city and there's lots of other therapists by you who do the same thing, where I am now. So when I started out, it was just me. I was the only naturopath around here. And there is another one, Tracy Cook, and she's over on Glen Austin Road. Now, that's a bit of a trek and it can be hard. It's more traffic there and things like that. So people around me were like, oh, well, I'm local to you. I want to come to you. Now I'm online. So I can see anyone anywhere in the world, but I don't tend to. I tend to still see people from this community, from this locality. So we've got to think, who are these people and where are these people? And if I now have 5 or 6 other natural therapists around me, nutritionists and naturopaths, probably more than that actually, probably more like 15 or 20. So I've got a lot around me now that I didn't have before. So now I have to show my difference to those people, to the people who surround me. What is my difference? So my difference is I've got 30 Google reviews. So that's really going to help me because people are going to see those and go, well, I'm going to go and see her. She's got a ton of reviews. They're going to see that about Botanica Medica and Tracy Cook's establishment, but they're also going to see how different I am. I don't work with anyone with cancer, whereas she does. So we've immediately set our differences. Different people with different problems are going to go to her that are going to see me. Okay. I'm using Tracy as an example. She's been a naturopath 10, 20 years longer than I have. And so, but she's established a business, a trading center. There's lots of other, she's got a counselor in there, a naturopath in there, a homeopath in there. She's got a big group of people in there. And there's a shop there as well. So again, very different to me. I work from my front room. Well, now I work online, but I work from my front room. So I see people in my home, which is the reason I chose right at the beginning not to work with cancer clients, because they'd be coming into my home. And having worked in oncology in the hospitals, I didn't want that energy coming into my home. Okay. So I already made some decisions about who I was seeing and who I wasn't seeing right at the very beginning of my practice. Okay. At the very, very beginning of my practice. Sometimes we don't know who we want to see. We're like, oh, but I like a bit of this and I like a bit of that. What about that? But we do know who we don't want to see. And so that's quite easy. If you know who you don't want to see, if they ring you, you just have a referral person to send them to immediately. It's like, well, I don't do that. I'm going to send you to Tracy. She's around the corner. She does that. Off you go. Here's the number. I'm going to flick it to you in a text, right? So easy, done. If it's something that you don't want to do, you don't have a referral partner yet, or they have to do it online, you might send them the information. But what you won't see in any of my advertising is that traditional white woman in her 40s looking very pale, wearing a turban or a pink ribbon anywhere. You won't see anything in any of my advertising that makes it look like I work with those people. So someone who is going through oncology, who has lost their hair, will look at my advertising and not relate to my advertising. So that's something that we can all do, is make sure that we know who we don't want to see and make sure that our advertising shows this as well. Okay, it emulates this. So none of those people are going to ring. Or some people, I have obviously over the years had people ring me, but they're generally word of mouth referrals. And the person said, you need to speak to Geraldine. You know, she's really helped me. And they've called and I said, well, actually, I don't, but I do know the exact person for you. And I've sent them on. It's really important that when we're looking to, this question, successfully build your clientele base in your community, we know where our community is, where we're going to find our community, and who our community is. Who are those people? And that's why it's a really good idea. We're coming up to the end of the year. We need to be placing ourselves, are we going to close over Christmas? I was always closed over the summer. I would have a couple of full working days spread out so that I could see the people I had to see and that were still available. But lots of my clients, I would make sure that they knew holidays were coming up. And so they'd got all their product. They were ready for a big long break because they were going away or doing whatever. So now that you're prepping, going into the end of the year, and you're prepping for that Christmas time, who are your clients? Where are they? Where are you going to find them? And who are you speaking to? I'm speaking to you. You're the natural therapist listening to this podcast. And I want to support you. And I want you to get in contact with me. I want to have that one-to-one conversation with you and see how I can help you. If you're about to qualify, then have you got the website? Have you got all these things set up? Because that's what I now do with people, because my staff, I've got an amazing team. So lucky to have them. They want extra work. So I'm like, yeah, let's help other people because you guys are all incredible. So let's make it work for them by using you. If you want to start a podcast, oh, well, Ella is your woman. She'll be able to set you up and get it sorted. And the social media, well, Angeline, we will work through these things together. Go and check out what I've got. Because when we want to successfully build this clientele in our community, we have to set up who is it? Where is it? How am I going to reach them? I hope that's helped. We really have to think about the end of the year and moving forward and what are my modalities that I'm going to specialize in? Am I going to see children? I'm only going to see them occasionally. So it'd be a really good idea if I bought Geraldine's Pediatric Online Mastery Course so that I could dip into it when I needed it, when I saw that odd child that I'm going to see, or I'm seeing them all the time. And so I need that baseline information. And then I can expand on that as things go, because you don't learn anything about children in uni, do you? So let me know how I can help you. There's some links in the show notes. Check out those links, go to those links, and let's have that chat. Join the academy, get those one-to-ones with me on a regular basis so that we can catch up properly and we can have those conversations and I can help you as you move forward and support you so that you don't feel alone. At the moment, that's why you've got the headphones in. That's why you're listening to me, because you know I'm here to support you and you know that I've got, hopefully, some really good advice tailored just to you. So for the next few podcasts, I'm going to be answering these questions that I get. So if you've got a question, make sure you email it in to me and I will make sure that I reply in the podcast. So thank you, Jamie, for this question. And I will look forward to catching up with you all on the next cast. Have a good one. See ya. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.